Good night. Welcome to Love and Enlightenment.
Evening blessings and salutations.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, make sure y'all have your devices off. I just hear mine.
You're still on mute, Abba. Good evening, Mr. Abba Mark.
Yeah, greetings.
So introduce yourself, Abba. Tell the people who you are and
Tell us a little, because you're completely new to coming on Love and
Oh
Enlightenment.
my gosh.
While I'm doing
Greetings, Janos.
Blessings. How you doing, man?
Blessings. Where do I begin?
just
Grew
a
up all
little
over.
something.
Grew up all over the island of St. Croix. Came to the States, teenager, did Job Corps. When came back home, went back to college and stuff. Came back after that, worked in First Pennsylvania Bank. After being a banker for about 10 years or so, work as a teacher at a complex, you know. And then left and came up here to Atlanta. And I've been there for about 20 years. And then finally now I'm in Florida. I was making my way back home, you know, but opportunity presented itself and I ended up here in Florida. That's basically it.
You are a business owner, and now you're a part of this man group, a successful business owner. I know you're a part of the man group. I can't remember the name of the group.
Yeah, we just call ourselves Caribbean Men, and most of us from the VI, but we also had other members staying away from Jamaica and so. And it's a support group. We basically exchange a lot of information amongst ourselves, you know, that we think is important and stuff like that. We listen a lot to information changing. They have a thing called Guide Code. You familiar with that, Yano? So you never hear about Guide Code?
I know several guide codes when they're necessary and when they're needed. I don't know if it's the same
Okay,
thing.
well, you're right about
I
that.
can't know.
They
I
also
don't
have
know,
your
you know.
code too, by the way.
And I
for
definitely
your
would
ladies.
not divulge any of that information here this evening.
You're right, because they don't mind taking us out one by one. I ain't gonna call nobody name.
Yeah, yeah. So that ain't coming. You ain't getting that from me. You know what I mean?
Me know what you're talking about, so I just
Wait a minute.
relax.
Just last week, we talked about uplifting our community, right? And y'all like throwing jabs?
Nobody throwing a jab.
Oh, because that has sounded like a
You
jab.
took it as a jab. All I said was I just wouldn't reveal anything from the
But
guy code.
why not?
I'm not at liberty to. I'm not allowed to. I would. Yeah, I think I would be just.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that we ain't harassing.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for, like I tell everybody, for coming on this journey with us, for being a part of LNE, and again for deciding to join in on this topic for this evening. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you and welcome, Abba.
Thank you also.
Welcome. Yes, definitely.
So I don't know if
Anyway.
anybody got a chance. I pushed through a video today that's kind of, I would assume, is something that some men have dealt with. And so I'm looking forward to like the comments on that. But it was a video, basically, this guy, I guess, had been talking to this girl long distance. He paid for her to come out to where he was, I guess in his mind or whatever, however she was, because of course, everything is assumption. It was assumed that there was other extracurricular activities that was going to happen that did not happen. And he drove her. I don't know if it was the same day or the next day or whatever, but it's them sitting in a car as he's driving her to the airport, basically upset because he spent all this money for her to come out. she had him believing that they would have been intimate, and they were not, but she was prancing around supposedly half naked. And so he was mad, and he took her back to the airport, and they're cussing and carrying on in the car. And then when they get to the airport, she's asking him for the confirmation number for her to go back. He was like, I already canceled. And she is now desperate because she has no funds to get back. So is that something that men have concerns about, issues about? In what fashion?
Well, I think, I'll lead up. I think, obviously, you said that in other words, she made it. Was that, did they discuss that?
We don't know. A lot of it's just
You said she was
assumption.
prancing
Obviously,
around.
he said that she had, I guess she had come out the shower and she was prancing around the room in their argument.
Abba, you are watching right just now, right, Abba?
Yeah, I did.
So it was presumed by him. And again, they don't go into detail about how long they had been talking, what they had discussed, but it was obviously that he felt like she was in agreement with whatever was supposed to take place, and it didn't take place, and he was mad. And so he was driving her crazily back to the airport.
They were fighting.
Yeah.
The two of them were fighting. She came to visit him. He paid for the ticket, and she was showing her body. Her privates was all over the place at different times, but she did not engage in any relations with him. He get vexed. He took her back to the airport, and he didn't get a confirmation number, and she was a little upset because she maybe had no money. So what is your take on that?
Because she prancing around the place, it doesn't give anybody the right, any woman naked, give anybody the right to assume that they're going to be, again, this is assumption. Something like that gotta be definite. Remember, women are always in control. You're the ones that giving it up. So either you're gonna give it or you don't. So he can't assume. Personally, I mean,
he had a right to be mad. Did he have a right to be mad? Do you think?
Any man would have been upset, but I don't think it would have gone to that. I think that was a little extreme. I don't know if it involves, going back to taking her to the airport and all of that. I think that was just a reaction. I think it was a reaction. He spent all that money and just had to find a way.
What do you think, Abba?
Louis froze.
Well, what I think is pretty much this here. His mistake is that he chose the wrong woman. In the sense that, you got different kind of women who are promiscuous, women who are not, women that don't mind exchanging sex for coming to your city and having a good time, etc. He should have really explored, go more in depth with her to determine the dues, the acceptance. You could feel out and tell them things there, you know what I mean? He made that kind of miss.
But Abbott, let me interrupt you. Randy said they had been talking for 2 months.
That's still enough. That's still enough time to. That's still enough time to get to feel out somebody if that's what you're about. Like for instance, the way I look at it, like I said, he chose the wrong woman because ain't every woman is the same, and you as a man got to be able to distinguish different kind of women that may go for this, that might not go for that, things of that nature, And the other thing is you could tell that he was comfortable in doing that before. So he accustomed of that type of woman. Is just he happened to choose the wrong woman for that. Because they got a lot of women that they're about that life. Growing up home and so, and even though I've been coming to the States from a teenager, we don't see much of that. We ain't exposed to that lifestyle, as to say, when I said lifestyle, I like
he froze too. Darn it. Yeah, Louis having some technical issues because he just texted me.
Okay.
Yeah, but my biggest thing, I'm gonna thing him out and then let him come back in. my biggest thing is that something for everybody who's listening, and especially for the gentlemen who are listening, and who had an opportunity to see the video, is this something that people actually really face a lot? Because, you know, again, and you hear men saying, oh, I'm spending money. And in our discussion that we had on Tuesday night, I'm spending money, I'm doing this. And I guess the feeling is that it's not reciprocated in whatever form. And it's true. And that's what I'm saying.
But the question is from one about, okay, we don't know what was discussed there, right?
Right.
But we know that this is an issue at times. I remember, I think CC had put up, I can't remember, it was a post he had put in one time, like a man spent like $700 on a date, a dinner date or something. Is sex expected? If a man spend, buy you a ticket, it of course, like it depends on the people. We don't know what happened here, but if you spend $700, take me out to dinner and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I think Ciciono was bad because the friend, she asked her ex to come and pick her up, if I remember correctly. She asked her friend to come and pick her up, and so he had opened it up for discussion, but we never did. Nobody never responded.
Sorry about that. I have some issues. You can hear me?
Yeah,
everybody seemed to be
having some issues as well.
Yeah, Debbie was having it earlier.
But okay, so Louis, since you're back on, so do you think that this is an issue that like guys have faced?
Listen, if you're going to spend all that money, that needs to be established. I mean, if you're going, if that needs to be established, let's be honest. You're not going, I'm not going to send you across. I mean, Miami's right around the corner, but if you got, I mean, let's say you're coming from the States, you're coming to the Caribbean, there's a lot of expense involved. There's airfare, there's meals, you know what I mean? There's accommodations, transportation. You're talking about a $3,000-$4,000 trip, depending on, where you're going, where you're staying, all of that. So, I mean, yeah, and you definitely gonna want to show up and have a good time. So, and the ambiance is there, the mood is set, and then you just decide like, hey, I can just.
So then there is kind of like an expectation that something should happen.
Well, if we planning this, I'm like, yeah, we leading up to that, and you again, we don't know what their conversation was.
No, we just talking in general now, yeah.
Yeah, that has to be established. Come on. That has to be established.
So there has to be a conversation.
We're going to Spencer, we're just hanging out, and we're just going to hang out. Then clearly you're gonna pay your way. I'm gonna pay my way. We split in the bill down the middle, whatever going on, because we're just friends. We're just hanging out. But if I foot in the bill and we talking about this, some people have that expectation. Most people do. In fact, our guys do.
But again, people can change their mind, right? Even if they had that discussion.
I appreciate what you said, Oyanos, about the fact that even though she was, nude or whatever in his presence, he didn't have a right to feel like, well, you laughing
at no point, no, because that's an important message to get across. At no point anywhere, wherever you're there in life, because you see a woman naked, that gives you the right to make advances. It doesn't.
I totally agree. Anything barring rape, I mean, that's a given, I'm not
you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't make advances unless they're welcome. You know what I mean? I mean, anyway, we make the advances, they need to be received. They need to be, understand, need to be consensual, need to be received. Other than that, you don't, that's.
Would you have done what he did?
Crossing a line that you don't want to go, huh?
Would you have done what he did?
Oh, I don't have those problems.
I didn't ask you that. I just said in that instance.
No, because I set in that tone. That tone gonna be set. Know that conversation gonna happen. Yeah. And really and truly, I think me personally, I think we would have already been kicking it before I take you someplace. I'm not gonna just take you someplace and be like, yeah, hoping that it's gonna happen.
He flew her. I think he flew her to him.
Again, I think if we'd already been doing the do.
But it was a long. It seemed like it was a long distance relationship, and maybe this was their first like hookup or whatever, connect, whatever. I don't know why to call these things.
I'm saying though,
I don't know what to call it.
So that level in a relationship, right? I mean, because there's levels to this. We know that. If you're taking trips, you're obviously there's some type of, I don't know if it's exclusivity or something going on. Because you're not, no, I don't think any man gonna just decide, you know what? And then again, there might be some guys that do, but I know me, you ask me a question, I'm answering. I ain't gonna just say, you know what, let me take a trip just so. And we're friends, we just kicking it like that, then we split in the bill. I'm not going there hoping that I'm gonna get some from you. That's, you know, no, they're gonna already been established. Either we've been kicking it, either this is you're a person of interest to me, or you're my person, and then we've been doing it, and I'm gonna take you on a trip and we're gonna go have a good time. I don't think, you know, I mean, I don't think anybody would want to just say, oh, let me take you on a trip. And again, you know, that goes back to something we were talking about before, expectations. See, this is the flip side, because I know the guy has expectation.
Right.
We were talking about that before. So now the guy has expectation, and now when that doesn't happen, this is the type of result that you get. This is the type of reaction that you can get. Somebody told me a long time ago, you mess with growing up emotions, you're gonna get growing up reactions. That was a hell of a growing up reaction. That was a hell of a reality check for her.
It was a reality check. Yeah, definitely for her too, because I mean, you're gonna go on this trip and you're not gonna make sure you have some funds to get back home. That's crazy.
It's
That's
crazy.
But it is
It's
what
crazy,
it is.
yeah.
Okay, so I just thought that was an interesting video. But so you guys, the question at hand is, what concerns or what issues do you all see in getting into a relationship or being in a relationship in 2022?
Well,
Don't be quiet and shy tonight, because Tuesday night you weren't quiet.
who we talking about, me or Janos?
Oh, you.
Me? Well, what I was about to say is that getting in a relationship has so much information to be exchanged between both parties, and getting to know and see that it's worth your time. Like somebody asked the other day, how long it takes for you to know if the person right for you or if it's worthy of a relationship. And I think that's, some people said, or someone must have said 6 months. I said 3. In 3 months, I could know whether I wasted my time or not. But beyond getting in a relationship, if your question really is like, if you're already in a relationship with a person and you know it's a meaningful relationship, there's nobody there with any ill will or any scrupulous-minded thing in engaging in a relationship, and you know and you feel and everything seems to be flowing, but there is issues or questions. One of the concerns I will have is a lot of women fail to admit when they're wrong, you know, and I would appreciate to have a woman that would admit when they're wrong, you know. Another one is
you will give some examples of that? Like, what do you mean that woman, like, so what do you mean? Like, she just wrong about just anything, she will not admit it?
No. Let's say, right, that you said, as we driving together, we going and we come to a teen in the road. And I said, well, I look to make a left, because I know wherever we going is towards the left. You have to make a left. But you insisting to make a right, right? And then it turned out when I do take the left, I was right. Some women fear to admit they're wrong.
Oh,
and they made a mistake.
That's some. Okay, go ahead.
So
Now, Randy said accountability.
You know,
your boy
so,
Randy said accountability. That you want women to be able to be accountable for their faults.
I had a woman tell me once. She said she does have a problem with admitting that she's wrong or in the wrong. She said that's why she always made sure she ain't cheat on her man or give the man any impression to take that she's not sincere with him, things of that nature. So to avoid ever admitting wrong, so I mean, she never had no wrong intentions or did anything wrong per se, but you know, she just let you know, like, cause you know,
that's her only reasoning.
Huh? That's what I'm saying.
That's her only reasoning for being in a relationship, though.
No, not for being in a relationship. For not okay. I don't ever want to come and say, Betty Sue, my son, I sleep with your friend and da 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 da. And things go down. I in the wrong, right? And even though I admit it, right, I'm in the wrong. So to avoid, it's like, don't put yourself in a position that you're going to be questionable or create a misunderstanding or have your partner believe that something is up. Don't put yourself in no compromising position, you know. Walk and take the friend to the car, door of the house. Unless you go in her house, you stay outside. You ain't got to go in with her and spend hours in there. You know that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Then again, some folks will hide under or hide behind the fact that it's just a friend.
But I mean, I think
But it's
that,
okay, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that, right?
About your thing is you have an issue with women who don't take accountability. You see that this is a problem within. You see this a problem being out with women, and you also see that this is a problem that women have. Men have this problem with women. Some women. Accountability. Okay, so what else is some other issues that you have with us? I mean, Kevin Samuel that talk about all kind of stuff. And some people is Kevin Samuel's little disciples.
Well,
okay.
Not that you asked that question. Did you put it that way?
Kevin Samuel's disciples should have a lot of things to offer this conversation. You know?
Put it that way. A couple of things. Accountability is a good one. Trustworthiness. And I think all of these could probably fit under one umbrella. Trustworthiness, loyalty, and faithfulness.
And another word, cooperation. We always down for a cooperative lady. We find that some women would more want to compete and challenge and stuff like that. You don't really find a woman like that to me, no. I mean, mainly.
Whoa! You don't find
it? You always with it. Anyway, Mr.
I have to make
Randy.
distinction.
You get that.
I'm talking based on my experience.
Mr. Randy over here talking about he have a problem with alpha females. Okay, Mr. Randy.
Who's a Yano?
Randy. He got a problem with alpha females.
But what Randy also
has damaged women.
But all these things can apply to men too. But go ahead.
That is true. As far as
and damaged women, he making a. I tell you, Randy was supposed to be on the show. A whole list of them coming out.
Well, listen, I know where Randy coming from, and I'm gonna just share a little snippet because both me and he were living in Atlanta. I have a friend, right? He been up there 20 years before I came up here to live, and he told me about an experience he had. It's a popular gas station in downtown Atlanta that a lot of people go to. So he went there to get some, and he went into the store, get some gas, went in the store. He meet a nice looking lady in there. He and the lady start talking, right? They proceeded to walk out the store talking. Next thing you know, a lady walk up to her. Another woman walk up and like, what you doing talking to he kind of thing and da 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 da, right? So he know, he like, who you think you talking to and getting the rowdy business. No, that lady was a butch, and a butch is an alpha female. She lift up her blouse, her shop, and so she got two.
Politically correct.
Down right there.
You gotta be politically correct.
You can't be politically correct.
You have to be politically correct.
I use the word too, man.
We talking about picking politically correct or a butch?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So what you want to say, stud?
Look, I don't know why you want to, okay? You could just simply say people who prefer their own kind. You're politically correct here.
And I agree with Pinky. So someone that, like she said, the same sex, or someone that's,
alpha male. I could use alpha male.
But alpha,
Mr. Llanos. I'm male.
For female, no, that's no.
No, but the thing is, alpha female can be used in that context, but alpha female can be. I mean, we talked about this last week.
A woman who is a heterosexual could also be an alpha female. You have alpha female,
exactly,
and you have
exactly. That's what I'm saying. She was one.
Right.
She's one. Exactly.
Those strong, independent women that they don't need a man.
Danelle said men have to deal with women with kids. dealing with multiple baby daddies. Is that an issue?
Oh,
I imagine it is.
Yeah,
I never imagine.
yeah, I guess. I mean, that's a hell of a task, though. Why would you want to?
but before we get there, Abba, you have finished your story.
But guess what? But there's a flip side to that too, because I got women, I got to deal with man, I got multiple baby mamas too. So I guess it works both ways. So yeah, that happens. That's a good point, Danelle. Good point. And it works again both ways.
But Abba, you have conclude your story.
Shout out to Danelle. What's up, Danelle?
Which part I was in the stories? I need to remember.
You were saying that at the gas station, she showed, like, I guess she had to show. Like,
Yeah, so she's an alpha female in my opinion, because she acting like a man, you know? So that's a clear alpha female, because in the relationship between her and the other female, she's the man,
that's her
and
role.
that woman is the feminine, the female in the relationship.
Right.
So she protecting her woman, or she claiming her woman, and looking to pull her, you know, and show that she got tools, you know. So my partner had to back up and like stay away from that. She's an alpha female.
But in alpha females too are women who've had to be independent. We talked about this last week. Women who've had to be independent, or because of their workplace, you know, people sometimes don't know how to separate work and home, right? At work, you're the supervisor, you're the controller, you're the business owner. It kind of creates you to be that alpha female. And some people bring that into...
That's what Randy's talking about.
And then you have
that's
those.
What he's talking about. He's talking about
you
the
have those-
heterosexual alpha female.
Right.
And you have those women that claim, you know, because of their independence and them not doing everything on their own, them not needing a man. You get
You hear that? You don't really hear
that.
Yeah, you don't really hear too much man saying we don't need no woman. I could cook and do that stuff. Yes, we do. We are able to, and we do that. But we like that.
Man the cook, man the wash, they don't hem. Man the cook, they don't wash.
Yeah.
Only thing man can do that woman will do is give birth and have a cycle. That's it. The only thing man can do, man cannot do,
have a cycle.
That women do is give birth and have a cycle.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
So you're saying men don't say they don't need a woman?
No. I
would never say that.
Yeah, that man love woman, man. Don't ever doubt that. Man love woman is the problem with the woman then that we could do without.
But again, it's the problem on both ends. And either we're not attracting what we really want, or we too are coming to the table with issues too.
We are damaged people. As people of African descent, we are damaged people already.
Randy said damaged women. So the issues I have is with that women that don't take accountability, women who are damaged, alpha females. You need a woman, but you need a woman. Not that you want one, you need one.
Hold on. When you say we need a woman, you gotta be careful how you say that. You put a little much weight on that. There's specific reasons why we need a woman, and that's pretty much. It's not like we can't live without them.
Listen,
right? At the end of the day, it's your choice whether or not you are seeking a relationship with a woman, right? Or interaction with a woman. I don't know how you want to call it, right? And so you're saying that men, because I was saying that men don't say that they don't need a woman, that they don't want a woman.
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't go with a trombone or trumpet doing that. Whereas women do that, but women do that out of anger and frustration. But we don't do that. We don't do that per se.
I don't like when we say we don't need a man.
No, because we need each other, man and woman. You know, need each other, especially we have African black people. But anyway, politically correct thing.
Wait. Danelle also gave a good one. She said men have to deal with women who have been alone for a long time, become independent by default, not because we don't want or need a man. We just become used to not having one.
Think you want to elaborate?
Me and a man. Why you say about that? Why you feel about a woman like me who been single for at least this years, independent by default? Sorry, Randy. I don't find myself to be an alpha female, but if you want to call me that, that's okay.
You are in an essence. You are in an essence by default.
I don't see me as an alpha female, though. I'm not a leader of a pack. I'm a beta. I'm not an alpha.
Both of them are like, huh?
Because Pinky,
Yeah.
you are the leader of
Alpha
you're the
don't mean
leader of your
independent,
household.
you know.
You're the
Huh?
leader of your household. You're very independent. You have your own business. You're independent. You're strong-minded. So you have alpha traits. I think where
I'm
things go
an extremely complicated human being. Let me just put it that way. But not because you're an independent woman, that means you're an alpha woman.
No. But you have, like I said, you have alpha traits. But I think you, and the reason why I actually elaborate is because that pretty much that was a good example as to, by default, like you said, you're being placed in that position. So you could probably.
Yes. And men, why do women like me intimidate men? Single women, independent women, strong women. I won't say alpha, I would use the word strong women who do not need, as I don't need a man, and I emphasizing the need, Luis. Emphasizing the need. Obviously, I don't need because I've been single for 8 years. So why would I need? I've been single for 7 years. I don't need one, right? I choose to have one whenever the right one show up, but I don't need. Why does that intimidate men? Why do you all have a problem? Randy, I would love for you to chime in on this one. Why do you have a problem with a woman like me?
First of all, and I speaking for me, I can't speak for everybody. No woman intimidate me, none. Put that out there. I am not intimidated by no woman. I get impressed by someone, but I'm not intimidated. But I just feel that everyone has an opportunity. I think some men probably just may feel for whatever reason because of what she's bringing or what she has, and they look at that as those accomplishments and probably feel that she's this well-rounded individual. But that has nothing to do with it because at the end of the day, you're a man and she's a woman. And this thing about not needing a man listen. Men and women are meant to be together. That's the nature and the law of life. We're designed to be with each other. So don't sit down there and say when women say that, they're referring to things that they can do for themselves, that they don't need a man. And it goes back to men doing the same thing. I could wash, cook, clean, I could do all them things. You could change a flat? No, but you're gonna pay somebody to change a flat, right?
I sure do.
Or you pay somebody to do all of that. Mm-hmm. You can pay somebody to build a house, you know what I mean? You can do all these different fix, plumbing or electrical, anything. You can pay people to do that. Man could do that. But, don't sit down and say that you don't need nobody because we're meant to be together.
I said I don't need nobody. I said I don't need a man. Again, there's a difference between need and there's a difference between want. And we have to have that understanding.
What is the need for?
So for me, I don't need one. I want one, but I don't need one. That's a difference. And for me, I have to. For me, I have to.
Do you have needs that a man can fulfill?
If you could live 8 years without the needs, you could live another 8 years. And by the time I reach another 8 years, as an old woman.
As a woman, do you have those needs?
It doesn't matter.
But do you have them? They exist, is my point.
Somebody tell me. You just pray to God. Pray God, take them desires away from me. If you what you gonna do? You see, the problem with needing somebody, and this is my problem with the word need.
And I switching it because I don't want you to make it seem like it's a need, but you have those needs.
This is the thing. You need to acknowledge the fact that you do have those needs. Them needs, because I am not going to be a woman that needs something that I'm gonna be making poor choices in order to get it. That's what happens when we live in need. Yeah, and you know when I go to the
That's what you
Bible, you
believe.
don't want to
That's what you
hear it.
believe. That's what you believe in God coming, because He's gonna guide you and for you to make the right
Well,
choices.
God said
But the
there's a
need
scripture.
still exists, Pinky. That's
There
the
was
point
a
I'm trying to
scripture
make.
that I used to meditate on every day. God, help me to be content in my needs, in my time of hunger, or in my time of being full. That means I have to be satisfied in whatever situation God put me in. If I go out here needing, I gonna go out here making bad choices, and I gonna be up here telling all kind of story. And Pinky probably be crazy by now, and Pinky probably be doing some terrible things. So let me just be glad Pinky don't need nothing, and she could sit and be content in whatever situation she finds herself. These is just spiritual principles that I had to teach myself, is all I'm saying. But to need, I just like you don't need a woman, you would want a woman, but do you need one? No. Yes, we have desires that only the opposite sex could fill if that's our preference, sexual preference, right? But at the end of the day, man, whatever.
That's a good response, Pinky. That's a very good response, though, Pinky. That's a very good response.
Okay.
Very good response, and that's your personal experience. I think some people might feel different too, but a lot of people agree with what you're saying.
True. Are there any other issues
Wait,
that
wait. Hold up
Expectations.
there, if you all don't mind.
go ahead.
Pinky question was, why are men intimidated by her? I think that would be some men.
Yeah.
And you have certain men that is not intimidated at all. Because you could, one could look at your situation or look at you and really just say, you exemplify or you've proven that you are stable. You could be in a stable relationship, a long-lasting relationship, contributive, and things of that nature. Your kids are for one man, meaning like you got 3-4 different daddies and things of that nature. So it all depends on the man. It's himself. That's how I look at that.
Thank you, Abba.
Shay Marie said she could change her flat. That's dope.
One more thing.
She could change her flat. I can't.
One more thing. It's up to the individual, like for instance, yourself, whether or not you want to be in a relationship with whoever you may meet. And you have to want to be in the relationship, willing to make changes or adjustments. You can't always keep a hard line. You only stay with a hard line position, providing you don't want to go left or right or engage with anyone. So I could maintain a hard line. But if I want to have a relationship with somebody, I'm gonna have to ease up. I'm gonna have to compromise, make adjustments, be willing to listen to the other side of this equation, various things, So it all depends on the individuals. And one thing I realized in life, don't ever put yourself in a place you don't want to be at, because it's the most miserable thing you could ever do. I didn't take schooling serious until I went to Job Corps, and I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in school. Prior to that, when I went in Central High and Junior High and stuff, I was studying school. I hated it. That's why I dropped out. But nonetheless, you have to want to be in a relationship, willing to do what it takes to foster a relationship with you and an individual.
True. And compromise is definitely a definite.
Compromise is also, yes, correct.
Randy said, Pinky, you're a unique case.
Randy, I hope so, because trying to be like everybody else. And that also can be very intimidating, maybe to men, that I am not like everybody else.
Siobhan also said she can change a flat. That's the lawyer. She can change a flat.
Go ahead, Siobhan.
All right. There you go. For a minute, can change flat.
Again, are there any? Okay, so we kind of like naming and different things, but is there anything that? What is somebody right? Siobhan, compromise is different from continual forces struggle. True. Is there anything else that, again, that you think are big concerns for men? Okay, let me tell you something. I was speaking to someone today and I asked them this question, and they said to me, for them, they don't see why there would even be an issue for men or struggles for men in relationships, because this is how they feel. Women are emotional. So women always overthinking. Oh my God, is it this? Is it that? So we have our internal struggles, right? His thing was he felt that if a man have an issue about a woman before he gets into the relationship, he's either going to address it or he's not going to be involved in that relationship. So for him, he didn't think that there would be a struggle. Being in a relationship, the same thing. If there's issues going on in the relationship and he felt that most men will address it, if it doesn't get handled, either they're going to be out there doing their own thing or they're going to leave the relationship. So for him, he was like, that struggles that Black men face, he didn't feel like that was really a thing. How do y'all feel?
I could see where he coming from regarding that. That's what I told you. Within 6 months or less, a man's supposed to know whether or not to proceed to call it quits.
As soon as I start to lose interest, that's it.
Oh,
We've talked about that already. As soon as I lose interest, I'm gonna let you know. Listen, hey.
So that's the point. What would make you lose interest? Because then maybe that's where the struggle is, or that's where the concern is.
That is my struggle.
Or the question is, do men know? Because Karen mentioned this the other day, and we know everybody's different. Some want weave, some mind weave, some don't want weave, some want this. And everybody have a different one. We get that. Do y'all actually know what it is that you're looking for? That's the question I want to ask, because a lot of times I've been noticing there is this trend where men are criticizing women very harshly for all kind of things, right? They're even criticizing us for being emotional creatures. Now, I don't know why I want us to do it. If I want to go in our DNA and change our DNA, if that will make you happy, I really don't know. But we are emotional, okay? We got a lot more estrogen than you guys. Do men know what they want? Because sometimes men will be chasing after something. I put this post up, meet discipline or something, and he talking about, I'd be chasing after certain things, wanting certain things, and then I'd be trying to make. I tell my son one time, I use the analogy, you can't make an oak tree a house plant. You can't bring the oak tree in the house and try and make that a house plant. It just gonna mash up the house. We understand the concept. Why you getting what I'm trying to say? So man, why you know why you're looking for in a relationship? Like Janos, you say you don't lose interest. Like either go after certain things, wanting certain things, going after why your eye and your second brain, desiring, lusting for, and trying to turn these oak trees into house plants. Do I have an issue with that? Because no, we getting blamed that are you picking up these oak trees? All women are getting blamed, getting criticized, getting put down, and do men know what they want and what they're looking for in a mate?
Yeah, I think that men know what they want. You have men that just want a woman to sleep with because she look good, and they got men that know that they want a woman to settle down with. They got man, it all depends on the man, but they do know. We do know what we want. You know what I mean?
After a while, you want to sometimes I get sidetracked by the lust.
The person that you meet initially is not going to be the same person 5 years from now, because we all change, we all evolve. So I think it's important that we grow together and we adapt and we change together. I think that's important. So sometimes you might lose the interest because somebody might be in the same mindset that they were 5 years ago, or there's no progression in the relationship, or there's no change, and even if there is, one person may not be growing with that change. So it really takes effort to grow together in a relationship. I mean, in my opinion, for me, losing interest, there's so many variables that
causes that.
That cause that, I'm screwed up, I guess you could say. I don't know. I have you like Pinky,
You
you know.
got your issues.
Yeah, I go say like Pinky. You know what I mean? But there's just certain things that you know you could put up with something, and some things will be like, come on, really? So it's like, and really and truly, I'll be honest with you, all of this is, you know, is based on the caliber of individuals that you surround yourself with and who you get involved with. But I remember I put a post out that Nas had a comment that a post that I put out a while back, and I always remember this because he talks about, you know, a big butt and a pretty face will always get him, but is that one person with that quirky smile and personality that taught him that what true love is all about, and is about biology, it's about chemistry, not just a pretty face and a smile. That's dope, and it's true. It's about chemistry.
But I asked that question because women don't get blamed. I asked that question for this reason. Women don't get blamed for picking the wrong people. We had this discussion last week, right? Oh, you picked the wrong guy. Are you always picking a certain type of guy? Which we do, right? As a lot of women that pick a certain type of guy and then they'll get in trouble, you know. But
did you just raise your hand? Like, were you raising your hand like from personal experience? Like, yep, that was me. That was you.
That was me. That was me. High five me. That was me. High fiving myself. Okay. But the people them did lie. They did lie about who they actually were. So it's not that I picked them up not knowing what I was looking for. I knew what I was looking for, but they presented themselves to be not who they were because, and Ranchi explained this to us that men gonna lie because if they don't lie, then they ain't gonna really get what it is they want.
Nah,
so I asked him, do I have this experience? Is this an issue with men, or are you to just be controlled by the meat?
My take is things happening. I don't be looking. You know what I mean? I just let it happen. I don't. And I guess when you say you're looking, when you use the term looking, you're referring to you having a specific type of individual that's what you want, right?
No, not a specific. Yeah, well, not type, but I'm looking for something. I'm looking for certain things in a guy.
Certain qualities in an individual is what you're talking about. Certain qualities in an individual. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna do that, but I just believe in you know, you find somebody, you gotta figure them out. And if it's that person, if you go with that person and you figure that this is something that you want, you're gonna know at some point that this is who you're gonna want to be with. Even if they tell stories, things are gonna come out.
And don't dismiss your gut feelings. Don't ever dismiss them.
That's important.
I've learned that.
But
everything that's in the dark gonna come out to light, Pinky, eventually, because they can't keep up their life forever.
By asking the
you know somebody, they can't keep that up forever. So you always, you know, especially people are gonna come up with their best rep. You know what I mean? But always be true to yourself. I always say that.
And also, people have to always leave room for disappointment too, right? Because because of that same.
My mother used to always say that myself.
Yeah.
I asked the question because when we look at statistics, men are more likely to tell stories, lie about who they are, and to show up, getting in relationship than women. But are you know? So let we address the gold digging situation too. This gold digger, can we talk about that?
Oh, you mean women that have these unrealistic expectations? I wouldn't say unrealistic. Let me not even say it because it happens. So I wouldn't say unrealistic, but women that have expectations that I think they're influenced by social media, in my opinion. You always see women talking about getting the bag, securing the bag, and doing this and getting that, you know, and using what they have so that they can get X, Y, Z. And nah. I'm sorry, that can't happen. I don't condone that.
You know something? As I listen, I look at the situation. You know, yeah. They have bad women out here too, just like you have good men. right? I mean, bad men. You got bad women also. Okay, this was what I wanted to say earlier, right? Back when like hip hop and stuff came out, this was saying about bitches and hoes, but not as much as they do nowadays,
Mhm.
right? What you find is these women used to be in the background, the streetwalkers, the whatever it is, but now they're forefront. Everybody's all about the sex life and the looking finesse and nice looking breasts and body. That it's all in upfront nowadays. But also um, growing up home and with our way of thinking and
Right.
looking at life from back in them time, we call women princess and queens, and we look at the women them as men, we look at the woman them in that manner. So it was a shock, not really so much a shock, but coming to America, I listen to rap music, and so you hear them sing about bitches and hoes, all that kind of stuff and what have you. But when you come here and live, if you like, in my case, Atlanta, and you get to see for yourself what that man's saying about really do exist. And you do have some women, again, the word is some women, and it's usually those that go along with that kind of lifestyle and entertainment business. They actually glorify and want to be into that kind of a lifestyle. So back
that's
in my days when I was young, you call a woman a bitch, and so even a Yankee woman or whatever in Jaco, they ready to fight. Who you calling bitch? What now? Nowadays, these girls are young women, they wearing it with pride. I'm a badass B. What have you, So you find that everything shifts and changes, a lot of people too, I keep telling people, a lot of people think we're going to go back to a pre-Trump era. That's never going to happen. Just like how we grew up and the society that we left behind, we grew up, have changed. People move away and different technology, different things come in and what have you. We're not going to go back to that lifestyle that we once had in the past, just like how gas prices going up, etc. So the world is changing. Everything is changing in that retrospect. And we find out that women are being glorified for being naked and for
but
wanting to have the best shape and this and that, etc., etc.
but let me say something, Abba. Danelle made a good point. What came first? The music that speaks about the behavior, or the behavior that comes as a result of the music?
Well, the reality is it always been here. The behavior always existed. It's just, to me, in my opinion, it has not become forefront.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody glorifying all the celebrities, and all the celebrities having the different surgeries, whatever they did. And, they try to make our celebrities our heroes, our leaders. And that's a no-no. There ain't no other race of people, people out there that's celebrities are that as their leaders. Their leaders are actually leaders.
Oh, I like when you said that. They don't have celebrities as leaders.
No, they don't. Only the Black community does that. They try to force it on us. But my philosophy is that there's going to be a grassroots movement where the people going to dictate and determine their future. The world can't continue to be going as the way it is, as it getting worse and worse. And especially people like Trump keep coming popular and affecting the world. But we'll see.
But the thing is, it's like you said, it's always been around, but now it's more acceptable.
Exactly.
And the thing about it with our culture, and this is the thing, this is the issue I have, with the black women fighting against the black man and black man fighting. And I like what Randy said. The women need to take accountability, but I also believe that men need to take accountability. I think, I don't think the problem that we are facing within our community is a woman or a man.
Exactly.
Right. It has to do with individuals and how we're showing up and how we are treating one another. And how we are treating one another, I don't see that in other races either. You don't see the other races though, they're bashing their women and their women bashing their man, and they got issues too.
Oh yes,
we don't see them bashing one another. We don't see them putting on one another because they got baby. And you don't see all of this heap of baby daddies and all these things in these other cultures either. And how are we going to change these behaviors is that we have to take accountability and we have to decide how we want to move forward. We can't say like we could go back and change the mistakes that we've made, or we did the best we could with what we knew, because we did the best with what we knew. But it's a new day. And we need to start to make different choices, and it don't start with beating up the other gender.
Right. And also, I think another big issue that I think that people want traditional marriage in a modern world, and we haven't figured out how to navigate. On top of all the other issues, we haven't figured out how to navigate that, because at the end of the day, marriage was about building together financially, right?
Yeah.
Now that you have women who are making a lot of money, and again, these are things that are happening in other ways too, but for some reason that's just dividing us even more. And so we have to figure out a way to, and again, we're doing this through conversation, but we have to figure out a way that, listen, men have issues, women have the same issues, but they show up in different ways. But we have to find a way to get back together.
We have to.
We're being so divisive against each other, but we need each other. We need each other, yes. So when I say I don't need as an individual, we do need each other. Because if we don't have each other, what becomes of our race, right? What becomes of our people? Right? Are we going to be obsolete at one day because we all decide we can't deal with one another? Right?
We have to find a way.
Or are we going to continuously raise generations and generation in toxicity? What does that produce? If we calling women bitches and hoes to death, could you imagine what they're going to call them in 20 years if we don't do
Bitches
something?
and hoes.
Yeah.
But I want to say something. There's someone said, I can't tell who it is. The question is how to find a gold digger, and then someone said, step one, have
That
gold.
was Siobhan.
That was who?
Siobhan.
Oh, if no gold, you have no worries, which is kind of true. But it goes back to what we're talking about, these expectations. Women in the dating scene believe because, they're again, this is a dating scene. There's levels to this because I can explain this. Women in the dating scene believe because they've went out with you 2-3 times and you've shown them a good time, and you guys have sexual relations, that now the expectation is that you're supposed to be able to pay stuff like, oh, I need a bill paid, or I need my rent paid, or I'm trying to figure out when did it get to that part, because for me, unless there's levels, unless there's exclusivity in we jump to you be my woman, then yeah, I can understand I can help you out with stuff. That's not a problem.
Exactly.
But where there's an expectation because you give me the box, I'm supposed to pay a bill. Nah, it's fair exchange. You give me the box, I give you the pole. That's a fair exchange.
Exactly.
So the expectation of having to pay something for, I'm already paying for the date. No, again, anybody that know me that ever went over me know that when I go out, I gonna take care of everything. I don't split bills. I don't do that. I gonna pay for that. But this notion of expecting me because of this, because we dating, and I mean, when you're dating, you're seeing other people. Unless you, again, instead there's exclusivity, you said it's me and you alone, and now of course we're gonna go back to me and you only been out 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now we get into the next level, then that's different. Them conversations got to happen. And you start to feel for somebody, you start to get, immoral. But this thing about because you're sleeping with somebody.
So that's a big issue.
It is a huge issue. And this, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this is, like I started the conversation earlier by saying, a lot of this is influenced by social media. You see all these people portraying this. They come on, they say these things. So to have all these women believing that is the way to go. No, that is, you're cheapening yourself if you do that. Because the same way you come to me, the same way I'm going to step out.
So Janos, you saying you could have a sexual relationship with a woman, but are you ain't committed?
Hold on. You didn't hear me say that, Pinky, so stop doing that. You like to do that. You're saying, let me start this over. You didn't hear Louis Janos said, you saying. I said, Start that over. This was a generalized conversation.
That's why I say what I said, so I can understand. Look, so if a man, let me say it this way, if a man have a sexual relationship with a woman over a long period of time, you sleeping with this woman for 6 months.
No, by that time, by like Abba said, he know in 3 months. So
No,
by that time, by 6 months.
He's talking about a committed relationship. He was talking about a committed relationship.
But I preface by saying there's levels to this.
But you calling it levels? But it's different types of relationships out here. Because I always hear me say.
Let's say you hook up with somebody. You just hook up with somebody because you hook up with that person. This is what I'm referring to. Because
so this is what I'm saying. You have a hook up relationship with a woman.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It could be that you hook up that one time, and because of that one time,
you changing my story, because my story is this.
You change your story. Tell me what will happen.
I'm telling you what. This is the question I asking Janos and Abba.
Right ahead.
You in a hook up relationship where you just have a sexual relationship. I'm using the word sexual relationship because it's not marriage. It's not commitment. It's a sexual relationship where you just sleep with a person ever so often, blah, blah, blah. And are you doing this for a year? You don't feel that there is nothing you should contribute to this relationship, just your entrance and your exit?
What I bring into the table is
yeah. So you say if she want you to help her with her like bill, you got a problem with that?
My point is this: don't devalue what I bring. Just like what you bring in, I'm not going to devalue it. So again, it goes back to if you're courting this person and you guys are hanging out.
Stop changing. You keep changing the story. The story is you have a sexual relationship. That is it.
I'm not changing it, Pinky. I am telling you like it is. If you going out with somebody, you guys are hanging out, and you having this, you want to call it a sexual relationship, but you hook up every now and again. It's just, what do you call it, a relationship, but not you're hooking up?
Friends with benefits.
Where is it? Where's the expectation that I got to cover your rent, or cover your phone bill, or cover a utility bill? Where did that come in? Because we're sleeping together. So why? So you bring in your box, and like I said, I bring in my pole. My
pole. Go with this box and the pole again. But let me tell you, them two things don't go together nicely.
Well, it's a fair exchange, Pinky.
Well, listen, but let me also say, because I said this the other night, right? At the core of what a man wants, and the core of what a woman or needs, and what at the core of what a woman needs, is usually that a man looks for respect and sex. So you're getting the sex, right? And a woman is looking for protection, provision, and security, right? So it might be misused in that sense. But at the core, her expectation is if she's giving up of her body, you're going to give up in one of those three aspects.
Is that reciprocated?
It is reciprocated because she is giving you what a woman gives, and what does a man give? Security, protection, you know.
And that goes back to the level of where you're at in the relationship.
But this also goes back to the
that's what I've been saying.
Probably should not be having frivolous relationships.
But let's not negate that happens. We talked that was one of our first shows of hookup culture.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're talking about the gold digger, right? Is she actually a gold digger when you ride in the box, like you want to call it? You doing whatever you want to do, and you just want to ride the box and leave and don't have a knock. But you had your hand up. Jump in. Let me hear your perspective on this. Jump in.
The fact that we're going out every time that we go out and we go to eat, and I take care of everything. Hold on, Pinky, hold on. The fact that we go out all the time and I take care of the bill all the time, right? You don't have to pay for nothing. And we enjoy each other company, and again, this is a hookup. This is nothing there. The fact that we're doing that, why do you have to? My question is, why is it that it has to? You have to devalue what I bring. It has what I bring has value also. So get out your mind about security. Hold on, because and again, remember the caliber individual that you're dealing with speaks a lot. So if that's the type of
We're talking
person-
about no caliber because this is the thing.
I am,
You
though.
dealt with a
I am.
person.
Hold on.
Why you dealt with a person? As Randy said, no, not you could be in a sexual relationship. You just come knock on her door, get what you want, and then you leave. That's what
And it
Randy
happens, Pinky. That'll
He
happen.
has no responsibility. So
That'll
I am
happen.
saying, is she a gold digger if she is giving out of herself and you just coming and knocking at the door and rolling the house? How about what you think?
Randy said that sounds like modern day prostitution, but go ahead.
It is, but we ain't gonna go there.
Hey.
I think that you described it two
But
different
Randy,
people.
there's a problem with this modern day prostitution because what happening is some of these men is saying they could just come in, they could just knock on the door, come in, get what they want, and then they don't even have to pay. And so then they got this thing going on for ongoing a period of time, making promises that they never intend to keep because it's always considered as a sexual relationship, and it never moves from that level. It's just sexual. It never moves from that level. It continues for a whole long period of time. And people, Janos is saying, no, we don't have, you don't have to bring them to the table. You just knock on the door, roll in and roll out. How about what is your contribution?
No, here's a caveat. Again, there's levels to that. So it goes back to, the length of time. So if you're doing this for quite some time, clearly, and you and I have talked about this before, Pinky, emotions will get involved and shit change.
So you're saying that
But if his emotion ain't change and shit don't change, cause he rolling in, knocking on the door, hey honey, down out the door. No, his emotion ain't change. She giving out, and she just keeps giving out and don't get nothing in return.
Then that's a conversation that they got to have.
Yeah,
Okay,
we always talking about conversations, and the conversations don't never happen.
That is understanding that took place in the beginning. When it evolves, that's how you change it.
Okay, so
it goes back to why saying there's levels to this, because at some point when you become exclusivity, when there's exclusivity, of course you're gonna want to be like, I got you. You don't got to worry about it. I go take care of this for you. That's where that
you're
comes
saying that this is an issue in the onset.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Give Abba a chance to talk.
No. He hit it on the nail right there. That's determined on the onset. I do agree with that. You have different people out here. I mean, I know it's hard for some of y'all to believe, but they got women that live this life. Just like you have thugs and gangsters and killers, you got women that live that life. Women that don't have any problem with sleeping with strangers.
Okay, but Abba.
Yes.
Then the issue is that is who you were attracted to. I'm just using you in this sentence. I'm not saying so you know that these women exist.
Uh-huh.
And you're entertaining them. So you can't complain when she's telling you to pay for her car, no?
I'm entertaining them, or you're saying in general?
I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying.
Yeah, you calling them gold diggers. You're saying woman out here looking for stuff and blah, 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 blah. But you ain't walking away with nothing. You're getting what you want. You're getting what you actually asked for.
I've known of situations where.
No, Pinky, again, let's go back to
wait.
The poll ain't got no value. The poll ain't got no value. Does the poll have any value?
Evidently not.
Apparently not. But she wanted, she gained it, right?
Apparently it does not.
Come on now, let me be real about this.
But wait, give Abba trying to say his point.
I want to hear Abba's story. Yeah, and I want to hear what you coming with now. This is gonna be good.
There've been situations where like the woman and the man sleeping together, right? Now, you may say, well, okay, she gave me sex, but he's a drug dealer. So when he said he gives she some money, or she bring him customers, things of that nature. A give and take between them, and that's just their understanding, and that's how they went about doing their things. So it all depends on the individuals, what has been determined and established up front. Exactly. Just like Yano said, that's pretty much what it is there regarding that. And we have various type of people, and it's can't ever say blanket all people, all men, all women. They just have, you know. Do you know that tree?
But it's you.
Do you know that
You
tree?
have to- But you also have
My
to
question
own
was,
your-
is it
wait,
wrong?
But wait, you also have to own, the man has to also own his accountability that he knows he's entertaining somebody that's like this and he's still entertaining. So you can't get vexed at all because you already know what kind of woman
Who's
she
getting
is.
vexed? I'm just saying that you have different strokes for different
Why
folks.
the derogatory term that she's a gold digger? Because you know that this person
She's
is
not.
showing
The
signs.
woman we're describing there is not, to me, in my opinion, a gold digger.
Okay.
No.
You don't. Okay, and that's
Not
again, that's
these,
perspective,
not,
right?
yeah, perspective, yeah.
Wait,
Um,
let me
mhm.
say something. Danelle had made a comment that I actually liked. She said we were talking about gold digger, but she said she is a goal, GOAL digger. I like that. And Dr. Williams said respect is a two-way street. So is trust, so is giving, so is receiving. Not 50-50, but 100-100. So that might kind of
Wow, the emojis.
And Randy, I know I see the emoji thing. And Randy said, he said this before, but he's saying this again. One of his issues is
Eggplant equals $0.
gotcha. If you put him in coach, that would be a problem. It's a story because Randy likes to travel first class, and his thing is that if he's gonna send a woman or pay for a woman, he's gonna pay for her first class. His problem is now, if you know that's how he travels, and you put him in coach because you say, okay, this time I'm gonna take care of the tickets. You put him in coach, that would be
Treat people how you want to be treated, right?
But again, like I said to Randy, and that's Randy, that's his personal thing. But what if she doesn't have the funds to put you in first class? She put you in coach and she paid the little extra so that you had the premium seat. He said he's not going for that. That's a problem. So
Premium seat.
But before we conclude, of course, we got to tackle the cheating issue, right? Because men complaining that women out here cheating on them left and right. When the percentage show that more men that cheat on women than women that cheat, that's what the percentage show, right?
I think Debbie put out something the other day that says that women leave monogamous relationship at a higher rate than men do. Right?
yeah, but women don't always necessarily.
Debbie put out a quote that says women get bored in monogamous relationships.
Is that what it was? Okay, something to that effect. All right.
Don't come changing it to suit
Yeah, but the thing about it is that, and also a lot of times.
So what does that mean? That means that they approach the cheat quicker.
Right, but women.
Well, women are hired to cheat emotionally.
Correct.
Women emotionally have a higher rate of what they call emotional cheating.
Right.
So when
Because
they get bored,
they get bored easily in a monogamous relationship. So it's easy to just cheat on a higher level. Is that what that is?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
emotional intelligence. Is that an issue? Is that a struggle? Is that an issue?
Of course it is. Any woman cheating is an issue.
Huh?
What
Do
is
you
the
see
question?
it like as a big issue right now?
That women cheat?
Yeah.
Of course.
I wouldn't want to be with anybody.
I mean, of course, if you
so my question to you, because you said a woman cheating is a big issue, right?
Who said that, Pinky?
I'm gonna ask you why. Because have you ever cheated on a woman?
Who said that, Pinky? Can you like to put things in people's mouth again? Here you go again with this. Who said that? Did I hear me come and say that on here tonight? Unless she got a visual, she's this whole big question mark. Like, what's going on, yo? You got props.
Okay,
Speaking of props over there.
I mean, that evidently seems to be a big issue right now. But
yeah, we'll talk about that next time.
We'll talk about it the next time because we.
Okay, we'll get your time to figure it out. Take the time to figure it out.
But again, it was
There's
very
nothing to
interesting.
figure out. Nobody likes a cheating woman.
And I appreciate even the
But
women.
then why is men more cheaters than women and you have a problem with it?
We don't have to talk about that on another show. We don't have to talk about this on another show. But I definitely want to just thank everybody who commented even of women, you can't see it good. Even of women who commented what they think struggles that Black men are having in relationships or getting into relationships. But again, you know me, I miss positive, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to see everybody happy. I want to see everybody whole. I want to see everybody healthy, right?
That's so unrealistic, Debbie. Okay.
Whatever. That
See,
is
Abba, I told you about how she is.
Is me. Okay?
That is her, 100%.
That is me.
All
Because
right.
Unrealistic goals.
because I'm going to speak what I want to see, right?
Okay,
Mhm,
good,
mhm.
good,
Not
good.
only for me, but
For
for
everyone.
everyone. Okay?
I got you,
Good.
sis.
Okay.
I hear you, sis.
Roger said he missed. Don't worry, you know you're coming back. Actually, you coming back. It's not not next week, the week after. You coming on. Anyhow.
Yeah, he gotta come on next week too.
No, but Rachi definitely coming on our
Yeah, but next week. Anyway, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that.
But I at the end of the day, we all have struggles. Okay, like we named this struggles of Black men. Last week we talked about, Black women in social media. At the end of the day, we all have issues, right? And I think we just have to learn that we are in a ever-changing world. We also have to learn that we have to be empathetic towards each other. And we have to find a way to navigate this. But navigating it with negativity and putting each other down and being divisive is never going to be the best answer, right? Especially if we're trying to create better legacies for those coming up, right?
Right.
So I definitely, it's good to know what these certain struggles are, but it's also important for everybody to understand everybody's story is different. Not everybody is malicious in their intent. Everybody, for the most part, is looking for love. And we just have to find the one who's for us. You understand what I'm saying? While trying not to knock down everybody else. But that's just me. Okay? Because I got to speak what I want to see. So I want to thank everybody, of course, Pinky, Louie, and Abba. I just want you to know, like I tell everybody who comes on, this won't be this is your first time, but it won't be your last time.
We hope it's not. We hope it's not.
He's gonna come back. He's
He'll come back on, for sure.
I'm a road for the hills.
He'll come back on. And I definitely want to thank all the listening audience for your comments, your constructive criticism. And again, I just really truly want to see everybody happy and healthy. So what am I mean? So
to add to what Debbie's saying, I put up 2 posts on Sunday this week and Sunday last week. Debbie said, how we do this. I believe in teaching a man how to fish instead of gaining a fish. There is 2 posts I put up, one Sunday and the one previously Sunday. These things help us to navigate how we find mates. They're very helpful tools. Now, if you have the tools, you could use them. If you don't want to use them, that's perfectly fine. But when we're looking for healthy relationship, there is a manual. I don't want to speak my religion because it might offend people. There is a manual, and God write the manual. And whatever religion, I'm quite sure you will find a manual in there that will help you to find and how to seek relationships as we go forward. How do we seek healthy relationship? How do we show up? And Sissy put something that was very helpful about, we're in this self-care and so we think that being single is the answer. It could be the answer, but it may not be the only answer, because it's in relationships we do learn things about ourselves. And we do learn how to be better, because by yourself, you're in a relationship with self, you're going to do whatever. But when you have to compromise, and when, like Abba said, you have to compromise, you have to open your heart. These are things that we have to do when we're in relationships that we don't have to do on our own. And so these are skills. These are other skills that help us to be in successful relationship. So I put up 2 posts that might be very helpful in anyone that is looking for relationships.
Cool. Well, again, Abba, I want to thank you for.
Thank you, Abba.
You're welcome.
Don't log off, but I want to thank you for coming on, and Louie, of course.
Okay.
I want some more people to start posting. I'm going to do Juki Jam Sunday this week. I haven't decided on the genre. But I need more people to share more music. Like
I got some tunes for you.
Okay, good. So I have to come up with a good reel. But anyway, everybody, please be safe. Take care. Be well. And we will see you back here next week, Thursday.
As always, thanks to everyone. Pinky, definitely Debbie, and Abba, welcome aboard. And we'll see
Thank you,
again.
thank you, thank
I
you.
want to just leave and say, love truly, love deeply, love passionately. Pinky, like that one. Remember that one? That was another one. That was the next one.
Watch me. I was shocked. Hear it.
I've used that before, though. I've used that before.
Yes, you did, but you even add a little bit more to it. Go on, Janos.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I'm a man of love, so
There you go. You're a lover, not a fighter.
almost definitely, by all means.
Well, y'all take care. I gotta get ready for tomorrow morning and do it all over again with work and everything. But I enjoy it and everything. So look forward to next session.
Excellent. Thank you. Everybody take
All right.
care.
All right, later.
Good night, everyone.